Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And we're looking at lovely new things that are arriving the 5th of January in the new mini catalogue. And I can show you the front of it. So January to April 2023, full of lovely things with spring and Easter and Valentine's Day and all of the things that we think of after Christmas. And this is a particular set which I really wanted to get. It does come in a bundle and you can get dies with it. Unfortunately, when I did my pre-order, they hadn't quite arrived yet. So by the time January arrives, you should be able to get it as a bundle. But I was quite keen on just having it as a stamp set because if I was going to fussy cut this out, which we're going to do a little bit of, it's not a very difficult shape to do, and I think we can work with it. So we're using this one on the ocean. It is a red rubber set, which is lovely. And we are using some paper, which is, this is a free paper with Celebration. Celebration is January and February. And for any order that you put in, which is over £45 from either the new mini or the annual catalogue, you can get an item for free. So there's stamp sets, there's papers, there's all sorts of lovely things. And this paper is, I've shown you quite a lot of it. It is Dainty Delight. I think Dainty something or other. And it's got all these beautiful flowers on it, but the other side has got lovely patterns as well. So this is Starry Sky. So I'm going to have that as my sort of oceany bit just behind. And then I'm going to have a white piece. And I've got a reasonable border in here. I've probably got about ½ an inch border rather than ¼ inch because I wanted the blue round there. So we're going to work on this piece. And as I say, do your mats and your layers and things how you normally do them. Different countries, we have different styles and whatever we're going to do. So I would like to put, and I've just mounted him already, the boat. And I'm doing the boat in Orchid Oasis. Now, I'm going to be covering the boat with some of the waves and things, but it doesn't really matter that much because I'm going to be doing a little bit of what you call decoupage or giving it some layers. Now, this is lovely because it has all of these different, it's like a distinctive set. So I do it both ways because I do want to have as much as I can of the distinctive part on there. And I'm going to just put it sort of slap bang in the centre. Excuse the shadowing, but this time of year it gets dark and I have to put my lights on and I don't get enough natural light. So let's pop that on like that. Oh, lovely. Look at that. It's a really beautifully detailed boat, isn't it? Okay, so that's in the Orchid Oasis, which is sort of a purpley blue, but is more on the blue than the purple in my opinion. So it works perfectly like that. And then I'm just going to clean it off because that's going to be my background piece, which is going to get covered with waves and things, but it doesn't matter because, as I said, what I've done is I have cut another 2 of these out, and I have, let me put this one back and I can show you. So I have cut out another 2 of them like this. And then I've cut the boat out. So I wanted the bottom of the boat to be in, I'm not going to put it on, I'll put it on to show you, but it's not going on yet. So the bottom of the boat is going to be in the Starry Sky. And then I've got these pieces which are going to go up on dimensionals. Get the other bit. And this is going to go up in on here. Now I've done it like that so that you've still got all of the pieces of the rigging and things coming down on there, but it gives you that two-tone and it gives you a little bit of dimensional or dimension and interest on there. So I'm just going to put that to one side because we don't need that yet, and then we can work on the other part. So we've got these lovely waves and things coming in. So let's take this one. This I think is beautiful for all sorts of backgrounds and things. So I'm going to put, I don't think will it go on there? Not really, it needs to go onto this big one. So I'm going to put it just in the center like that. And then I want to do different colours. So I don't want to use these two, which is the Starry Sky and the Orchid Oasis. I'm going to have some, I think I'm going to have some Pool Party for this. So let me just put this in with the Pool Party. And then I can have it coming right up over here, because it doesn't really matter, because the put some down on here. That's pretty good. It's quite pale, so what I might do is to just add a little bit of different colour in there as well. So this is Calypso Coral. Let's have a look and see in on here and see how that comes. It's better, and then I can get a bit in like that. And then we can have a piece up like that. So you can see how it's sort of building up in colours. Like that. So it gives a real sort of oceany look, which I think is going to be quite fun. And as I say, it doesn't matter if it's come over. In fact, because it's a paler colour, it hasn't really come over the boat at all. But I love that sort of, you know, oceany wave look. And in fact, I might actually put some, I think I've still got this one out somewhere. I don't think I put it away. I'm looking for my Tempting Turquoise. Just have a little look and see if it's out on there, or did I put it back? Can't think whether I did. Right, I'm going to just keep it as it is, I think, on there. Then I want to, because I wanted just something a little bit darker. So while I'm round on here, I am going to, there we go. I knew I'd put it out somewhere. So I think a little bit of that Tempting Turquoise might just work on there as well, because I quite like that colour. So let's have some of that in there. And I want it right up at the top, I think. Oh yes, look at that. That's nice, blended all together. That's really lovely. So that's all of the tones together, like that. Really want to get it onto my table, but that's okay. So that's 3 different colours, but you can see how it's sort of built up that tone, and you've got these lovely little sort of splashy bits at the top, which I think are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. They work so well, and they also, you know, will work. They don't necessarily have to be the wave bits. The little tops there would actually work as almost like little sprigs and things coming through. So I've done that on the background of one thing which was very much watery, but you could do it so they were little spriggy things. In fact, they would work as a wreath, a sort of slightly disjointed wreath, I think would work quite well. Okay, so that is the ocean. Now we need to do something with the sky, and we've got these sort of clouds. I haven't used this one yet. So let's have a look and see what this one's going to be like. Sort of swirly clouds. So again, I think I'm going to start with the Pool Party, because I don't want it to be too bright. And we can always build it up from there. So let's start with Pool Party. And let's see how these clouds are going to go. I'll have one just in the top. Oh, look at these, they're rather nice, aren't they? one coming down like that. And I'll have another one just coming in like that. Okay, so we've got some cloudy bits coming through on there. And they've got these lovely seagulls. They look really rather nice, aren't they? I love just a few seagulls on all sorts of things. I think that will work perfectly. So let's just take that one and get the seagulls out. Here we go. So they're in on this one. Again, I haven't had those out yet. It's quite nice when you've got new stamp sets and it's the first time you're using them. It's always rather exciting using new products. It's good using, you know, our normal products, but it's quite fun to use new ones. I'm just going to get another little block. I don't want a big block for this, so have a little block like that. Let's put this one in like that. So there's our little birds just flying in like that. I think I'm going to do the birds in Starry Sky because I want them to be sort of quite dark. You're not going to see, they're sort of like silhouettes, aren't they? So you don't need a huge amount of them. So let's just put these little birds flying in like that. Oh, look at those. They're beautiful. Absolutely love those. Oh, I want to put more of them in, but I think that's enough. Yes. I always tend to, I have to sort of rein myself in because once I see something and I go, oh, I really like those, I end up wanting to put them all over the place and then it over eggs it. Okay, so that's that. Do I want to, I think I do, I think I want to just bring this all in a little bit. We've got some words as well that we can put in, but I want to just sort out the edge of this. So I'm just going to get my blending brushes. You see that I've got one that's got blue on it. Yes, I have. So that's one that's got blue on it, and I just need a scrap of copy paper underneath so I don't then end up getting everything all over the place. So let's put this one underneath and then it doesn't matter that we go over. So what colours am I going to do? I think probably I do quite like that. Let's do Calypso Coral to start off. Coastal Cabana to start off with. I always say that, don't I? Because they're both the seas and they're at the same time. And let's just bring this in. Because we just want it round the sides. So I'm just... be careful on the birds to make sure that they've dried nicely. Just bringing this in like that, and then I'm going to take, because I really love that Tahitian Tide. I think I called it Tempting Turquoise earlier on. It's terrible, isn't it, when you've been a demonstrator for a long time and they bring out new colours and things that are very similar to old colours. You find yourself going into those older ways and mentioning the wrong colours sometimes. Right, that's better. So I'm just doing a little bit just round on the side here so that that will blend in nicely. So we've just got those two colours coming up, and I think that is starting to look really rather nice. So now we can start building up the background and things. So what have I done? Here we go. So I have got this in on here. That's going to go in on there. Then we're going to have the boat. So I'm going to start building some of this up. I'm not going to do that bit yet. Let's do the boat that we'd cut out. So what have I done with all of those little pieces? Here they are. Okay, so I need some dimensionals for those. Let me see if I've got was still using some of those contraband ones, but I think I'm going to use some proper ones. Okay, so those are the large ones, and those are, oh, those are large as well. I want some minis actually. Have I got some minis about? I'm scrubbing through my pot as I go to see if I've got any. Here we go. Those are my minis. And I will get another pot out. I say I've been using these contraband ones, but they're not as good, obviously. So let's put these, some dimensionals in on these. So we can have two on there, two on there, one on there, and then we need just, that's why I really like our dimensionals, because you have these minis as well as the standards, and the minis just work into little spaces beautifully, and because they're hexagonal they don't stick out everywhere. Okay, so this is our boat, so let's put our boat in on here. I need to make sure that that comes up when we get the next one. So the next one has got, so you've got the dark for the boat, for the, you know, the hull of the boat, and then the sails are going to come in. Oops, sure we have the right way around. Now I need to make sure that the mast part comes absolutely straight on there, because you don't want it to come sort of slightly cockeyed. So you can see that comes completely straight, and you've got all the rigging and stuff, but you've just got this so that it just adds a little bit in on there, and then this bit at the top, and it's just giving a bit of dimension. I could have actually sponged round the sides of it if I wanted to, but I don't think it's going to make a huge amount of difference that I haven't, but that would tone it in a little bit. But that gives you, you can see you've got the dimension coming through on there, which I think is rather good. And then we need to have a sentiment. So hoping this year is full of adventure and excitement, we can weather this together. You are a treasure. I'd be lost without you. You are a treasure. That's quite nice, isn't it? Let's have a look at that one. Where's that? You are a treasure. That's it here. Now I've got these skull and crossbones and things like that, which are quite fun. And we might add just a little bit of something on there. So I'm just going to take this out on here. And I want to do a little piece like this with "You Are a Treasure." And I'm going to again take that in the dark, so in the starry sky. And then we can put that in on here. You are a treasure. And I want to put that on a little bit of that base. So I might have to, let me just clean that off. Particularly if there's dark colours, I do like to clean them off. So, whoops, my dimensionals coming in all over the place. So this is going to come in on there. Let me see if I can just take that out. I can put it to that so I can get that nice and straight. Now I could put a little mat in on there. I think I really should, shouldn't I? So it means I'm going to take it just down a little bit smaller, because if you have it too big and then your mat's too big, it then ends up a little bit too little bit over the top, says me. I'm concentrating on trying to cut this straight. Okay, so I need just a little bit of this blue. Now, have I got a little bit that I've just cut out? I think probably. Just go into my paper stack. Take this one out. And I just want a little bit to just go in on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here, then I'd only need to have 3 pieces. And it's quite a good idea sometimes to, or I find it easier, grabbing my glue, to just stick it onto my paper first, like this. So I'm just going to put it right up into that corner. So I know that 2 of my edges are straight, even though I've cut this a little bit on the cockeyed bit. I'm just going to smooth that in. So it means that I can quite easily then go down on here, take it out a little bit, and then I can just take it up in on here. There we go. And then we've got our little piece to go in on here, because that will work better. And I'm going to put that up with dimensionals as well. Minis, what did I do? Here's the bigger ones. So let's put a couple of standards in on there. And then I can put this just down at the bottom. So we've got that in as "You Are a Treasure" on that side, which is kind of good. And then I want to just put that little skull and crossbones, I think, just on the top of the mast. I think that will be quite fun. And I might have a anchor as well, just dotted about somewhere. Haven't really worked that out yet, but the little skull and crossbones would be quite good. So that's a teeny weeny one. So what I want to do is I'm going to take it up on the little tiny block that we do, which is perfect. As I say, our blocks are absolutely amazing. They really are. Every single size has its place, and it's one of the things that I got them fairly earlier on of being a demonstrator, and I thought, you know what, do I really need them? Are they any different? They are the best investment I've ever had, because they have their own sort of bit to hold on to, and the cushion, and they're just, yes, they are perfect. So that is Orchid Oasis, isn't it? So I need to carry on with that colour. Let me just make sure that I'm going to stamp it out first on just a little scrap, so I can see whether it's straight or not and whether I like it. That's okay, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so I need to put it in. Excuse my head if it comes through. There we go. A little skull and crossbones sitting up on the top there. And do I put an anchor in or not? Just as a little bit of interest. I could do. Again, I've got to think where I'm going to position it. So I don't want it to be too sort of uniform. So let's take this one out. If I was going to place it, would I place it just down like that? Would I place it up in the corner like that? That might look quite good, right up in the corner. So it's a complete feature rather than a what do you call it, rather than a part of the scenery, as it were. Okay, so, and that, I think I'm going to do it in the same colour. Let's have a look and see how big it comes out. Put that up in the corner. Yes, that'll work quite nicely, and we're going to keep it in the same colour. So I'm just going to put that up in the corner like that. There we are. That sort of balances it up a bit. Okay, so now all I've got to do is to put this in onto my card and my base, which I'd put over there, and was going to do it so we can finish it off. So standard card base. Now, a little trick I've learnt: open it up first. It's easier to get it lined on, and I've cut this one so it's quite big. So it's actually, it gives just a very fine border on the card base. Again, it's entirely up to you how you cut your borders. I mix and match things depending on my mood. So this one is quite a big, just gives me like 1/8 of an inch on here, which is fine because I wanted to have a little bit more of the background paper showing when I put this one in. So just get this bit in on here. That can then go in on the centre. Like that. Excuse me. And there we are. Let's take that out of the way. You have a really fun card with lots of dimension in on there, and all of this lovely ocean bits. I really love this. Really think that that's beautiful. I think I could do like a whole background just in that, which I might actually do at some time. So lots more ideas. First time of using this one. But I really am enjoying it. So thank you so much for watching. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.